Doubtful. So yes, this works for right now, and I think there's a couple things. First of all, like I think I've been pretty consistent from the beginning that I think any sport that has proper protocols and can put them in place should try. Like as long as the players are in and the sport is in and they feel comfortable in their protocols, they should be able to do it. And the UFC's protocols in Florida weren't great. In Nevada, they've been really, really good. Part of that is the regulation and putting them into that position to say, hey, you have to follow all your protocols. It's worked out. Now, the benefit that they have is that they can just tell the fighters what to do. I mean, they can't make them fight, but like, hey, this is your opportunity. If you want to fight, you fight. And here you go. Other sports can't do that. Baseball, I mean, they can kind of do it now with their agreement that they can just implement the season and they'll get challenged on it. But NFL can't do it. They have a players association. NBA has a players association. All of these people have associations that are looking out for the best interests of the athlete. MMA doesn't. UFC doesn't. So the plus side to the business is there's many of them. For the business, it's, hey, we're going to keep going because there's nobody to stop us, which really, really sucks for the athletes. But it's good for the viewers and good for the people that run the sport. So if you want to say like this is how it should be done. I've heard people like that's how sports should be. Like with the athletes having zero power, I guess for the fans it works out a little bit.
It's good old days.
Yeah.
Get out there and entertain us. Yes. At all costs.
Sure.
We don't want to hear from you. Stick to sports.
Yeah. Just show up. Compete.
Don't worry about safety and health, you pansies.
Yeah, don't care about you. Okay. That's fine, I guess.
I saw when the news came out today that Trevor Ariza from the Blazers is not going to participate in the bubble because he's got a 1-month window with his child.
Yeah.
One of the first reactions I saw on social media was cancel the season. Okay, it seems drastic.
Yeah. I mean,
a couple of guys are out. Seems like most players are coming back. Might be an overreaction.
Maybe. No, and I listen, because this absolutely drives me nuts because I have some friends that are very much like this. Look at the numbers. It doesn't affect, healthy 20 and 30-year-olds. And that's kind of true. I think you kind of have a point with that. Like there's validity.
Yeah, I think there's also more information now of long-term effects.
No. I was going to get
scarring
to that.
And
I was going to get to
there's a lot of serious. Real quick, I'm not trying to step on you. Yeah, I was actually having a conversation with one of the SO's friends. Her sister has it, and she needs to go in for follow-up treatment because she's got blood clot issues in her family, and she's like, I can't afford it. So that's something else no one, not no one. You rarely see when people are arguing about, hey, coronavirus is no big deal. Well, medical bills are. So I guess if you have, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 to piss away, good for you.
Yeah.
But like it becomes a financial crisis as well as a health crisis.
Right. And when people say
for treatment,
when people say it doesn't affect it, what they're really saying is the mortality rate is fairly low in those groups, which it is. It's fairly low, but you don't know the long-term effects. As we said, I have a friend who was in intensive care from it, who's very young, very healthy. She doesn't know what the long-term effects are. The doctors don't know what the long-term effects are. They think there could be some severe ones, and you don't know who you pass it on to and all these other things. I have a friend who is very healthy, young, and is being mocked by somebody very powerful about wearing a mask all the time. Like, it's nothing. What are you doing? You're just trying to show that you're, whatever. And his wife is pregnant. Like, what could this do to somebody who's pregnant or to the baby? We have no idea. So why don't you shut up about people wearing masks? About whatever nonsense you're trying to spew on them of, oh, you're virtue signaling, or, oh, you don't need one, you're going to be fine. You don't know about anybody else's life. So shut the hell up. I'm sick of this. It's ridiculous. And everyone should be wearing them because you don't know who you're going to be around or who you're going to interact with. So just put it on. What is the downside? You look kind of silly for a week or two or a month or however long we're doing this, however many times you go out, just put it on. I was very bothered.
Was the I don't blame you. Was the Tyson stuff out as of Saturday? The Jones, Mike Tyson?
I don't think Dana White was asked about that, so I don't know if it was or not.
Mike Tyson was on some podcast where he's laying in bed, your style, and was chatting about a bunch of different things, but he mentioned UFC and the pay issues versus boxing.
UFC is more popular than boxing, right? Got higher ratings, right? But the UFC will never be richer than a first-class fighter. Make $100 million, Conor had to fight Floyd. If he fight John Jones got to fight me if he wants to make some money, super money.
And John Jones kind of entertained it a little bit on social media. Could this really happen? Because Jones said, I'll do a boxing match, but you got to give me a return MMA match.
It's not going to happen.
And I won't hurt you.
It's not going to happen.
Neither side. They can't do boxing.
I think Tyson's trying to box, and I guess John, maybe he would. It doesn't seem smart of him to do. I can't see Tyson. Smart. I can't see Tyson doing an MMA fight.
No, he's not doing an MMA fight.
The whole thing is weird. But John has apparently given up his title, so he's not the champion anymore. It's so bizarre.
Would UFC want to get involved like they did with Conor and Floyd?
Probably.
They would.
I mean,
if it makes money, I guess.
If it makes money.
How embarrassing, though. I think the only way to make money is to have your best pound for pound guy fight a 53, 54-year-old boxer.
Yeah. It doesn't really look great for the sport, but if they can make money, I think they would try to do it. And on the John Jones topic, remember when last week one of the responses to everybody of like cancel culture was like, where does it stop? Where do you draw the line? We found it. We found it with John Jones. Because John Jones is angry at Hollister.
Yeah.
That's where you draw the line. So when people
what are you talking about? It's deleted.
There's no
never
line.
happened.
Yeah. There's no line. Well, actually, I think he reposted it.
Oh, he did.
But John Jones was mad because he was at shopping at Hollister, and he's in New Mexico, so a lot of the labels have the English name and the Spanish name. So he found some jeans that were labeled black, because they were black jeans, and then under it said Negro. And he said, this is an outrage. They need to change this. How could they call this Black Negro? Well, that's not what they're doing. And when people are like, there's never a line now. We just have to go with everything. No, we don't. See, it's easy. That's dumb.
That's ridiculous.
We can draw the line there. That's stupid. There's the line.
Do you think he had the talk with his daughters afterwards? Like, that was actually Spanish.
No, he defended himself. He reposted it, and he goes, I understand it's the Spanish word. It doesn't make it any better. Like, yes, it does. They're literally labeling it in Spanish for the people that don't speak English that are there. Which by the way, that's the other side too, because now the other side comes in and they're like, why are they labeling things in Spanish in America? Well, now you're just now you got no chance.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
So give me like 10% chance this fight happens. 5, 1, Jones and Tyson.
6. We'll just say 6%. I guess if Jones sticks to has to be MMA and boxing, probably less than 1%.
How would John Jones do in a boxing match against a 54-year-old?
I mean, I think you would try to clinch a lot.
How would you compare John Jones' hands and boxing to Conor McGregor?
I feel Conor is much more advanced.
Right.
And he actually started out kind of as a boxer, even though he never actually had a match. He trained in it for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like Jones uses his hands to set up everything else.
Right.
It's kind of just another distraction.
Yeah.
Because and you can actually I mean, boxers get away with it sometimes. You can't get away with it as blatantly as Jones would want, but I mean, there are a lot of boxers who are using elbows a lot, using heads too. Who was the guy last week you said was making the transition? MMA fighter?
Clay Collard.
And I looked up, and within 10 seconds, I'm like, can this guy headbutt anymore? Every time he was going in, it was like, doink, my head into the microphone, but he was leading with his head.
Pulled a big upset, though.
He did.
He's actually finding some success as a boxer.
I hate to say it, if this is the way John Jones can actually make, $40-50 million from a fight and be set for life. I mean, I think he's pretty set now, unless he's been spending like a jackass
on his goofy bow and arrows. And his attack,
I would hope he has a lot of money socked away.
Dog.
But if this is the way to, take a risk, finish off your career, make, life-altering money, I guess do it. But man, it's a bad look even booking the fight against a 54-year-old boxer. It's a bad look if he got his ass kicked by Tyson.
Well, I'd also like to see what would happen to Tyson in an MMA case.
But it's a non-factor. He's not doing that. And I wouldn't even sanction that.
By the way, that's what happened with Conor and Floyd. Floyd had agreed to do an MMA fight in return, and then he's like, I'm not doing that.
Ringside Stormy is coming up at 4:15, but we got Choose Your Fate at 4, and the winner will be that Ken Griffey story talking about his experiences as a kid at Yankee Stadium.
Visit Cofield's Corner on LVSportsNetwork.com for access to the latest podcasts and best interviews.
Yes, air conditioning and plumbing, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and available anytime your plumbing won't go with the flow. Schedule your air conditioning or plumbing checkup at 888-4937